Welcome to BrainwashingCentral.com. Today we will do a linguistic and body language analysis on Bill Ayers as he appears on Good Morning America with Chris Cuomo. First of all, I have to say Chris Cuomo, who is the son of ex-Governor Mario Cuomo from New York State, is fantastic in this interview. He does an amazing job of getting down and drilling down. We're going to take it even further. Pay a lot of attention and you will learn.
William Ayers was thrust into the spotlight of this year's presidential race by his association with Barack Obama. The question at hand is just how significant that association was. Now, in a moment, Mr. Ayers will talk to us, but first, let's take a look at how this 60s radical turned college professor found himself at the center of a media storm. William Ayers' name first came up during Barack Obama's primary race with Senator Clinton.
Senator Obama served on a board with Mr. Ayers for a period of time.
But it was during Obama's battle with John McCain that Ayers would become a regular line of attack.
His relationship with Mr. Ayers is open to question.
Our opponent is someone who sees America as imperfect enough to pal around with terrorists.
Ayers would become a target because of his radical past. A son of privilege, he rebelled by joining the Weather Underground, an anti-war group that bombed the Capitol, the Pentagon, and police headquarters during the 1970s. 3 group members, including Ayers' then-girlfriend, were killed in this townhouse when one of the bombs they were making exploded. Then, after 9/11, Ayers was quoted as saying he didn't regret any of the bombings and that the group didn't do enough. By then, Ayers had become a respected professor at the University of Illinois, Chicago, and had met a politician named Barack Obama.
But as Senator Clinton said in her debates with you, we need to know the full extent of that relationship.
40 years ago, when I was 8 years old, he engaged in despicable acts with a radical domestic group.
Okay, notice the great use of time distortion that Obama used here 40 years ago when he was 8 years old. So that puts William Ayers at a different time, a little 8-year-old boy, and you think, what possibly could he have done during that period of time? So great use of time distortion. He also uses the phraseology radical domestic group. Let's see if they continue to call that to other people that do things in this country. The use of the word terror was exclusively missing here. Let's watch this again very closely.
40 years ago, when I was 8 years old, he engaged in despicable acts with a radical domestic group. I have roundly condemned those acts. Mr. Ayers is not involved in my campaign. He has never been involved in this campaign, and he will not advise me in the White House.
So let's hear from the man himself. William Ayers joins us this morning. He's the author of many books. The one that has been re-released most recently is right there, Fugitive Days, Memoirs of an Anti-War Activist. Now, thank you very much for being here. Clearly, the matter at hand is this relationship with Barack Obama, so let's get right to it. You did have a meaningful relationship with Barack Obama, didn't you?
I knew Barack Obama, absolutely, and I knew him probably as well as thousands of other Chicagoans. And like millions and millions of other people worldwide, I wish I knew him better right now.
Okay, this is where it gets really good and you really need to pay attention. The first thing Chris Cuomo asked him if he had a meaningful relationship. He defers from that, and if you don't listen to that carefully, you won't hear it. He says he had a relationship. The key is here, was it a meaningful relationship? So he's not going to lie here. What he's going to do is misdirect you. He says, I knew Barack Obama. But then he goes into something, 2 things you want to watch for. First is his body language. He's such a radical, and it's still in him, that even though he's telling you words one way, watch his head movements. In unconscious work, a lot of what I do is to look at what people's unconscious movements are. Watch his head movements again. And he starts to say he knew him as well as thousands of other Chicagoans. And as he goes into that, he's shaking his head no. So his unconscious lie detector is telling you, no, this is not true. He did not know him like thousands of other Chicagoans. He knew him at a different level. Now, there's a lot here, so I'm going to continue to go on, and I want to show you this again. What he also does is he takes it from something personal and he expands it. It's like if you had a little bit of nicotine. They say if you distilled a pack of cigarettes down into one drop of nicotine and you put it on your skin, it would kill you within a short period of time. Very dangerous, very poisonous. However, by smoking that pack of cigarettes over a longer period of time, the effect is distilled. Imagine putting a drop of ink in a bucket of water, as compared to just putting it into a glass of water. There's going to be a color differentiation. And what he wants to do is he wants to spread this out. He does not want it pointed at him, so he wants to spread this out to make it look like thousands of people had the same relationship as him. Let's watch this again. Carefully now.
I knew Barack Obama, absolutely, and I knew him probably as well as thousands of other Chicagoans. And like millions and millions of other people worldwide, I wish I knew him better right now.
But thousands of people were not asked.
Okay, here's the appeal. When you go to a statement, you say self, thousands, millions. The appeal is, Mommy. Now, I didn't just do it. Tommy did it next door, and the whole class did it. Matter of fact, the whole school was doing it. This appeals to people at a very deep unconscious level. It goes back to childhood. Now watch and pay attention again. He's going to do it in a minute when they ask him about him having a coffee at his house. First of all, he says Obama asked him to do that, along with probably 20 other people that day. Again, it makes the importance and the size of what he's doing minuscule. This man is extremely well prepared and knows what he's doing. And why is he so worried about expanding it and diluting? Because he knows how important this is. He tries to tell you it's not important, but he knows, otherwise he wouldn't be diluting it and spending a ton of time trying to convince you and the audience and Chris Cuomo of what he's doing.
Relationship with Barack Obama, so let's get right to it. You did have a meaningful relationship with Barack Obama, didn't you?
I knew Barack Obama, absolutely, and I knew him probably as well as thousands of other Chicagoans. And like millions and millions of other people worldwide, I wish I knew him better right now.
But thousands of people were not asked to help start his political career in their home, right? That's an intimacy.
I was asked by the state senator to have a coffee for Barack Obama when he first ran for office, and we had him in our home, and I think he was probably in 20 homes that day, as far as I know, but that was the first time I really met him.
You use the term family friend. President-elect uses a phrase more like Bill from the neighborhood. Those two are not the same thing. Family friend signifies a relationship, doesn't it?
I think you're quoting from the afterward the fugitive days, right? Yeah.
Now notice how he starts to talk about how he became an issue unwittingly and unwillingly. Boy, does this play into the victim status where he's trying to get you to feel sorry for him.
I'm talking there about the fact that I became an issue unwittingly and unwillingly in the campaign, and I decided that I didn't want to answer any of it at that moment because it was such a profoundly dishonest narrative.
Profoundly dishonest narrative. Now, the way he stops before he says that, that's called an embedded command in hypnosis. And what he's trying to do, again, is reframe this and talk about the idea that he was the victim. This is a dishonest narrative, so he decided not to do it. But the time frame is he decided not to do it until after the election because he knew ultimately that it would hurt Obama. He is quite aware of what is going on. Very aware. Very professional at what he does.
It was such a profoundly dishonest narrative. But I'm describing there how the blogosphere characterized the relationship.
Once again, Mr. Ayers defers away from himself. It's how the blogosphere defined that relationship. He is not responsible. He is a victim to this. And yet he puts close personal friend. Let yourself determine. Don't be swayed by his language. Who do you call a close personal friend? Now, listen, we're running out of time on this one. I've got probably at least 5 more videos to finish up on this interview. If you're interested, send me your email. I will send you the rest of these videos for free. Just sign up and I'll have them done. If there's no interest, I'm not going to do it. If there's interest, I'm going to do it. I've got a lot of videos and things prepared as far as brainwashing, body language, hypnosis, NLP. I will get it down into fine detail and teach you how this is done. Stop by and see us at brainwashingcentral.com.